Welcome back to Africa This Week. If you have been following political developments in Nigeria and wondering what Ondo, Anambra, Ekiti, Edo and Osun have in common, well, since 2015, eligible voters in those states have all tried their hands at the ballot, and it's not even 2019 yet. Osun State stands unique above all of them, where the recent governorship poll went from being inconclusive to conclusive, leaving both the interested and affected with talking points, take-home lessons, and a twist to the narrative that winning an election is no longer as easy as ABC. Joining me to dig deep on Africa This Week is Habeeb Whyte, a lawyer and political analyst. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Let's get right into it now. What are your thoughts on political developments in Nigeria ahead of next year's election, 2019, and INEC's preparedness?
Now, very well. I know INEC is already prepared for the elections coming ahead. With what has happened in Ekiti State and Osun State, INEC is very, very ready.
Indeed.
But now, to our political parties, how ready are they? It is no more a battle of one man now. It's a battle of many people. Now, there's nothing like one man show now. We have a lot of persons that will fight. They will fight doggedly. They will fight doggedly for whatever they want to come out of the polls. Now, in the parties now, we have the opposition parties and the main party. The opposition parties right now, they should have learned their lessons in the past 2 elections. They should come together as one. That's the only way they can defeat the incumbent party. And the incumbent party now knows that they have a lot to do. That is no more like the normal game show. We have a lot of things to do before you can win election in Nigeria. We now have close margins now.
Indeed.
Unlike before. Before it used to be thousands of votes, over 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. But right now we have just hundreds of votes, 900. It's not even up to 8,000. And INEC declaring election to be inclusive, that's it, following their laws. It's very simple. If we have total number of accredited voters, if they are like 100, and you're having voting voters or those that have voted to be like 300, that is overvoting.
Indeed.
So they could have followed their route to declare the election as inconclusive. So some persons have said they don't have that power. No, they have the power. Section 3 of the Electoral Act is very, very clear. It has given INEC the power to declare election, to cancel it, to make it inconclusive. They can have the power to do another election. So it is their power, and Section 153 of the, and 160 of the Constitution is very, very clear on that.
You're referring to the Osun State rerun election there.
Very well.
But, you know, talking about political parties, what do you think of the direct primaries being widely adopted by the APC party?
That is the best thing. That is the best thing. You know, all these our parties need to give room for.
Especially looking at yesterday's presidential primaries.
Very well. All these parties need to give room for internal democracy. It is only when you have your internal democracy, when it is right, that is when you can come outside and fight boldly. But if you have rancors in your own party, how do you expect to win the general election? You cannot win it. So that system is very, very good. No more adoption of an individual when you have persons that are willing to be on that same particular post. So let them start that within the party system, use their delegates and their primaries, and give us a better candidate.
How would you describe our electioneering process and how it has evolved in the past 19 years?
Yeah, very well. Things have turned around. We have a new electoral act, as we used to have before. Now, I know we have the system of the voting system has changed now. Now it's mostly like the e-system now, which is very, very good for us. But there's one thing that I need that should be gotten right. That's the security system. Because a lot of voters have said their lives was at stake during the voting. They were rigging here, they were ballot boxes, everything was a mix-up. But I think our security system needs to work.
Those seem to have been information being spread on social media.
Very well.
Nothing tangible was actually recorded.
But there are reports to the fact
no evidence.
There are reports to the fact that there were some members of a particular party, which I will not mention them.
Yeah.
They have been masquerading themselves as INEC officials. They were caught. They were arrested.
Yeah.
So things like that needs to be avoided for future sake. It has to be avoided. But as of now, as INEC, I'll give it to INEC. They're doing very fantastically well. So we really urge them to keep doing better.
What will be your assessment of the governorship elections in recent times from Anambra, Ondo, and then the Osun one?
Very well. In Ondo State, it was a good one. Osun State seems to be the shocker to everyone, because I would not have imagined the turnout of vote, the turnout.
Yeah.
Because it shows that the issue of this voters registration thing was equally embraced by all Nigerians.
Yeah.
It
The
shows a lot
awareness
of
was
now
widely
have more
accepted.
voters.
Yeah.
And everybody came out to vote en masse. Because if it had not happened like that,
Some say, though, that some people didn't come out to vote, and that's why the difference wasn't that much.
people came out to vote.
People are saying that
People came out to vote
particular
because
party
unlike
members-
before,
yeah.
unlike before, the margin would have been very, very wide. We all know. Unlike before, but then we're having close gaps. So it's even a kind of hint for political parties to form more alliance
Yeah.
than the usual thing that we used to have before. Right now, APC as a party now knows that it is not going to be easy for them in 2019 elections. Other parties now know that they need to form alliance with other parties to
To be able to beat the ruling party. Yeah.
So that's the way it is. So things are changing. It means Nigerians are ready. We're now using the ballot paper to get the mandate right now.
Talking about political parties, what are your thoughts on them with the outburst of more political parties and realignments ahead of next year's election?
That's probably, to me, it's still craziness. Why are we having more parties when we can streamline our parties just 3-party system or just 2-party system? Imagine if you had like a 2-party system, APC would have won that election in Osun State. Whether it was conclusive or not conclusive, it would have won that election. Imagine for us to add the vote of PDP, ADP, APP, let's leave SDP out now. People have won that election. And most of all these parties, I don't know why there are differences in interest. I don't know why. People that are in PDP and vote for SDP.
Self-interest or ideology?
It's self-interest. It's self-interest. All our parties have the same ideology on paper. But the individual interest is what's giving birth to all the problems that we're having. That's why our personal interest must not override the national interest. I keep saying it. National interest, when it comes to Nigeria, is the paramount thing for all of us. If you think because you want to gain particular thing, at the end of the day, you will not gain it. That's what happened in the Osun State. If SDP, ADP has joined force with PDP, I know APC right now, it will not be a smooth ground for them. It will not be a smooth ground for them. Even though it was not even smooth for the won the election.
Indeed, it didn't. It was a really, really
tough
tight
battle.
fought.
It's a tough battle.
Yeah.
They fought the last.
Do you think we can curb this menace of vote buying? It seems to be the new form of electoral irregularity in the country.
Very well. Even our laws have catered for that position. The law is very, very clear. When there are reports of such cases, there must be evidence that such things have
actually happened
before you can even prosecute persons that are doing that thing. But right now, I think in Osun State, it was not pronounced the way we had it in Ekiti State. Because I know at the end of the Ekiti State election, both parties were coming out to say, you gave it 10,000, you gave 5,000. But in Osun, it was not pronounced.
Okay, let's look at why it wasn't pronounced. INEC asked that smartphones not be used during the Osun. Do you think that played any part in it?
To an extent, it did not help things. It did not help because there were no more recordings that we used to have. You know, before now, if anything is going on at party, polling booths, you have seen them everywhere. But now, I think INEC has just used that to curb some excesses because of the international outreach of the Nigerian system itself. You know, the observers told us the election was rigged in a way, but they never told us how it was rigged.
No evidence.
Anybody could say an election was rigged, but show me or tell me how it was rigged, then I will believe you the more. But if the system of using our smartphone was allowed, we will have seen evidence or things that are shown to us that truly it was rigged. But for now, it's a good election.
Yesterday, APC held its presidential primaries. Tomorrow, APC will hold its governorship primaries in Lagos State. What do you think?
The Lagos State issue is nothing entirely.
Dicey?
It's very, very dicey.
Not to be
very, very dicey. Because for the first time in Lagos State, we're most likely to have a governor that might not return back if he is not voted tomorrow. In his primary, as I said, it is good when we allow our aspirants to taste the water itself from the beginning through delegates.
Right.
When we have persons that are capable you have like 4 or 5 people that are capable. Don't unpick anybody. Let them talk out the party system themselves so that we can present a better candidate
and show
for general
your
election.
popularity.
And show your popularity.
Habeeb Whyte, lawyer and political analyst. I'd like to thank you for joining me on Africa This Week. Thanks for being here.
Thank you very much.
Well, the Osun state election comes as the final major electoral test before Nigerians vote for a new president, National Assembly, governors and state legislators in February and March next year. The countdown is on, the stakes are even higher, and voting is no longer queue, thumbprint and leave, but an avenue for the people to inspire the much-needed change. That's our program for today, and I have been your guide, Fadeshola Shutingwa. Many thanks for watching, and bye for now.